Hello and welcome to another episode of Headline Canada. I am Justine Kaur. Recently, City of Brampton and Ryerson University signed a milestone agreement for the post-secondary education in the city. To have more details on this, we have in conversation with us John McRitchie, who is representing the Ryerson University, and Devin Ramphel, who is representing the City of Brampton. Hello to both of you. Very warm welcome to our show.
Thank you, Justine.
Thanks, Justine.
So I'll start with you, Mr. John. This is definitely a very exciting news for the city of Brampton and Ryerson University. But can we have more detail on this, what this partnership is all about?
So we started working with the city probably about 3 years ago when we initially were looking at, actually the discussion started with bringing an innovation hub here to Brampton, and that evolved as the city and the province began to look at the university here. And we went through the process of the application for the university campus here, but all the time as we were developing that, we had the idea that part of that university and that campus should include an innovation hub. Now, the process with the campus has been delayed, but we've decided with the city to continue on with the effort to set up an innovation hub here based on some of the experience that we have in downtown Toronto.
Excellent experience that Ryerson brings to the table when it comes to accelerators. The DMZ, which is led by Ryerson, has been ranked the #1 accelerator in the world. So really Ryerson's bringing that experience. And Brampton at the city, we have, well, the experience in Brampton, right? We know the demographics here. We've been building the innovation and tech team in economic development has really been building out the ecosystem for innovation in the city over the past couple of years. So we have the Brampton aspect, and Ryerson has the accelerator aspect, and really see us just marrying these two together.
How do you think it will benefit the city and support the entrepreneurs?
Huge. So this is the first incubator in Brampton ever. And in a city of 650,000, that's huge. Right now, you look at smaller communities, Sault Ste. Marie even, they have an incubator there, but Brampton just hasn't had one yet. We really didn't have a partner as strong as Ryerson to lead it before. So that's why it'll benefit them by providing resources. It's a place to go for the entrepreneurs and the startups, and it's connections. Ryerson has a ton of connections into many different networks to help these entrepreneurs grow.
So this is definitely a new addition to Brampton's innovation district. So tell us when this will open and how many zones will be there.
So we're hoping to be up and running with the programs this spring, but we'll be into our space, we hope, in the summertime. It's just a matter of confirming the details of where we'll be located and then undertaking any quick renovations that we need to be into the space, hopefully by the summer of this year. We've developed this within the university. We actually have 10 incubator zones. Each one is separate, and they've kind of grown up organically, and they cover different sectors, everything from biomedical technologies through to legal innovation to social innovation. But so what we'd like to see within a community is that we can develop a program that fits with the community's needs. And so I think over time what you'll see is that the programming and the areas that we'll focus on within Brampton will very much evolve and develop with where there's interest, where the resources are here, where the entrepreneurs are here in Brampton, and develop something unique that really fits with the community here best to do it, because that's really how an effective incubator and an effective hub will work. It draws from that community resources and it amplifies them and brings them together to create something that is unique to that community and provides the best impact for it.
This is really like the ear to the ground, right? And we'll watch it develop over the next couple years. And it's our ear to the ground to really listen to what the community is saying and then navigate and guide the innovation zone in that direction.
Mr. John, where do you see this in future?
So very similar to, as I said, in terms of what types of zones, I think it'll evolve and develop over time with it. And what I've seen in the time I've been working with people here at the city and others within the community is there's a lot of great potential here. There's areas that perhaps that would develop uniquely. A lot of work, for example, in the creative industries, in music and entertainment here, that perhaps could be one of the areas that could develop here. As well as you have strong, within Brampton, strong manufacturing sector, and a lot of advanced manufacturing companies like MDA, the Fiat Chrysler organization, and then technology companies like Rogers and others here that have been investing and have a strong workforce that really could form the basis of a lot of new entrepreneurial and startup activity as well.
We know that you're representing a city of Brampton. So specifically, if we talk about downtown area, tell me, how do you see this development in the downtown area? How it's going to benefit the downtown area, and where do you see this investment in future?
Yeah, so we're working on building out an innovation district in the downtown. We're seeing a lot of the different elements for an innovation ecosystem coming together. One being this space that we're in right today, the Entrepreneur Center. This was opened just under a year ago. It's a place of home for the entrepreneurs to come, and they can, right now they can sit here and work, and they can do their meetings here, they can conduct interviews, meet other entrepreneurs, connect, collaborate. So this was one important anchor in the downtown. The other ones, we're looking at the Rogers Cybersecurity Catalyst. That's a $30 million investment that was announced in June of 2019, so just over 6 months ago. That's a collaboration between Rogers Communications, Ryerson University, the City of Brampton, RBC, and the federal government, right? So that's going to be anchored in downtown Brampton as well. So it's important to cluster this type of activity. We don't want to spread it too thin across the city. Really focusing it and building a brand around it. And in the long term, what we see is, maybe the downtown could be an innovation district, but other parts of Brampton can have their own districts as well. Maybe another part of Brampton is a medical district, and then you can have an arts and creative culture district as well.
What is the main goal behind this?
Yeah. From the city's standpoint, our main goal is job creation, right? So we're really working hard to drive jobs in the community, and we see these incubators as really like little engines that produce jobs. So it's important to have them integrated into the community.
Mr. John, I would like to ask you, so from Ryerson University's view, what is the main focus of this of this partnership?
I think, similar as Devin has said, I think we're here to support the economic development in the region. And it's also an opportunity for us to take some of the experience that we've had with the zones that we've supported and developed in downtown Toronto as well as in other areas, and try to apply some of that experience here in Brampton, which is a community we identify with very closely in terms of some of the energy, enthusiasm, the youth, and the vibrancy that Brampton has. That's something that connects well with Ryerson. So I think we'd like to participate sort of in that journey that Devin's described and support it and take some of that experience that we've had. And for us too, it's also a continuing learning experience. We'll learn from the process that we go through here, and that'll help us continue to refine and understand well how we can support these sort of activities.
Absolutely. So this question is for both of you. Why did Ryerson choose Brampton, and why did Brampton choose Ryerson?
So I think a lot of it had to do, as I say, the community here in Brampton. It's young, it's enthusiastic. We've had a sense, I think, from a lot of the people that we've talked to that there's a lot of pride in the area, that they really want to see it develop and create something new and create their own journey forward. And that's something I think that we identify well with at Ryerson, that desire to do something different and to make an impact in the community. So for us, it's kind of a natural step.
And from the city standpoint, it's really we've had a very strong working relationship with Ryerson over the past couple of years. Through the bringing a campus here, even though that's not on the table at this point in time, a lot of strong connections were built from that. So we looked, instead of just pulling away and saying, hey, you know what, the funding's been postponed, we kind of looked at it a little bit differently and said, okay, well, what elements can we still move forward with? And two of those, of course, the Rogers Cybersecurity Catalyst and the Innovation Hub were the ones that kept going forward. And we're looking forward to keep on building this relationship we have with Ryerson to see what else we can do in Brampton with Ryerson down the road.
Absolutely. Were there any consultations held before finalizing this new innovation zone, and did you receive any feedback from the people?
Yes, yeah. So we did a couple. We did the Black Innovation Fellowship. That was a couple.
Roundtable?
Yep, the roundtable that consulted Black entrepreneurs in Brampton. And prior to that, we had a number of surveys, a number of engagements.
And just as the entrepreneurs develop their business, the incubators and these innovation hubs have to be very living, breathing entities that adapt and change over time to see how they can best support the community. So as we get started, I think a lot of what we'll be doing is undertaking activities that will help us to continue to learn and continue to engage with groups in the community and getting their input and adapting the programming to see where it can make the most impact.
We will continue this chat right here, but right after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We have in conversation with us John McRitchie, who is representing Ryerson University, and Devin Ramphel, who is representing the city of Brampton. So, Devin, I'll start with you. So tell me, we are talking about a new innovation zone in Brampton. How it will contribute to the economy in the city, and how it will benefit the downtown area.
Yep. So incubators and these types of innovation zones are really critical to any economy. They serve as a place of home for startup companies and new businesses that are just getting started, and they really provide resources and connect these growing businesses where they're really in a nurturing state. Connect them to the resources they need for scaling and growth. It could mean technical support. It could mean connecting them into customers. It could just be business advisory and guidance and mentorship for these companies. So it's this innovation zone, as I mentioned before, this is the first incubator in Brampton. This is one of a kind here in the city, and it's going to serve as this place of home for these businesses in Brampton.
The incubator and the zone that we'll be setting up is kind of that next stage of support, and so a lot we'll be doing is to learn from the types of companies and the entrepreneurs that come through the BEC here. But also looking out to other groups in the community and understanding what their needs are and sort of continuing to develop and support them. So over time, it'll very much develop its own unique personality. And really what an incubator, as Devin has said, or an innovation zone, is it reinforces and amplifies the work that's being done in the community and kind of concentrates that effort. So it has the potential to sort of take some of what's best about Brampton and really giving it a strong voice and an entrepreneurial and business standpoint and amplifying that and building on that result. So over time it will build its own sort of unique identity.
What do you think how it will help Brampton's 2040 vision?
So the vision that the city has outlined, and Devin can probably elaborate more on that, but I think again it's the part of the idea is beginning to develop a concentration or a hub of activity in this downtown area around innovation and entrepreneurship, and we've seen that as being one of those sort of critical steps of getting a critical mass of activity going and helping so that when entrepreneurs are beginning to develop their businesses, they have a place they can go and a place they know where they can go to get support and even just to learn where others are also undertaking entrepreneurial journey. Entrepreneurship is difficult, and it can be a lonely endeavor. So I think just having that support available to them and having a place sort of concentrating that effort so can make that job easier for them. So if somebody's having a bad day, well, they can share in the joy that somebody else is maybe having a good day and being able to connect with it, so they don't quite feel so alone about it. And plus, just the practical aspect of sharing the experience and that they each have.
Absolutely. Devin, before you tell us how this will support Brampton's 2040 vision, can you please elaborate on what the 2040 vision is all about?
Yeah, so the 2040 vision, it was released, I think, 2018, And essentially what it does is it paints a picture for Brampton 20 years from now, right? So in 2040, what do we want Brampton to look like as a city? And this was done through a lot of public engagement. So it was really, the vision of the city was built by the residents in the city. And there was a number of different lenses under the vision, one of them being a city of opportunities. And that's really how this incubator plays into the 2040 vision.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. And before you go, I would like to ask you if you have any advices for our viewers, for the young generation, and for the people who will be using this innovation zone.
Well, we're going to be here soon enough. If anybody is interested in participating in the zone, they can reach out to us at an email address at zonelearning, all one word, at ryerson.ca. That's zonelearning@ryerson.ca.
Yeah, and just to echo John's sentiments, any startups, any new businesses looking to start up here in Brampton, please reach out to that email address, or alternatively the Brampton Economic Development email address, so edo@brampton.ca, and we're happy to connect and help and get things off the ground.
Thank you so much for taking out your time and sharing all that information with us once again. We wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.